Hi everyone, welcome back to the Manestream podcast. I'm Chloe.
And I'm Dasyonne.
And today we are going to be discussing a topic that we found out we have very opposing views on. Valentine's Day, if you couldn't tell by my sweater, is what we'll be discussing today. So I'm all for it. It's one of my favorite holidays. Dasyonne feels otherwise.
Yes, I feel Valentine's Day is extremely overrated.
I can see that. The reason I think a lot of the reason I like it so much is nostalgia kind of based. Like going to school, I liked like all the candygram stuff you would give to like all the students in the classroom or even the teachers. I know you don't like the colors, but I think the colors are very like aesthetically pleasing even from like a young age to now. The decorations, the candy's one of my favorite things. Like, only around Valentine's Day, there's this specific lollipop that I've liked, once again, since I was a kid, that only comes out during Valentine's Day. So it holds a special place in my heart, but I can see why other people may not like it.
Yeah. You stated you stated just now that at an early age, it started off as giving gifts for Valentine's Day, and I just feel like that, like, it sets an expectation. So, like, when you get older, you expect to get something for Valentine's Day, and it's like kind of not. I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable with that. Like, you shouldn't always expect things.
I get that too. I guess like how I kind of look at it is like it's. I guess like it doesn't have to be expensive gifts. Like I feel like that's the difference with it. Like I kind of like wrote with my notes. So like to me, it feels like a second Christmas. But it's different because, like, with Christmas, you're expecting, like, the bigger type of gifts, the better type of gift. But, like, with Valentine's Day, at least me personally, like, I'm just okay with, like, doing something or, like, a nice gesture. But I can totally understand how, I totally see all of Dasyonne's points with how it, sets up, like, unrealistic expectations and, why do you have to give them a gift? Or why is it always promoted to be giving someone a gift on this one day?
And that was, you led into another one of the points of mine. It's kind of too close behind Christmas, because I feel like Christmas is like right there in December, and then you get maybe you do get a month. And then like right at the, like 14 days into February, you have to like plan out another gift and like just plan everything. If you want to go on a date, if you want to get a gift, like you just have, there's so much planning to take. Like, for me, I would take a lot of planning to get Valentine's Day together.
I get that. So would you like it more if it was like later after Christmas?
So. Like, I just feel like it's just so upfront. Like as soon as Christmas stuff is over in stores, like they push out the Valentine's Day stuff.
They do.
I don't want to see pink and red flowers and candy in January. Like, it's just too soon.
Right, and there's nothing really to celebrate in January, so there's nothing really like, I don't know, I guess to put out. What was my other points? Trying to see. But I do think, despite like I do love like Valentine's Day from like the bottom of my heart. It took me a while to find a favorite holiday because I always felt like Christmas was kind of cliche. Sorry to all the Christmas lovers out there. I do like Christmas, but like I don't think it's my favorite. I don't know. Valentine's Day always just seems like a bit of a niche to me, and like I said, it held that like nostalgia from like a good time in my life, like as like a child when you're typically like happier. But I do agree that like it's fine. I do agree that it has been promoted and advertised in a wrong way, I think, for a long time.
Yeah. It's always been guys get girls gifts and never the other way around. Like, we're at a day and age where it's kind of a both-sided thing. Like, you shouldn't always expect the woman to be the receiver of the gift and the man to be the giver. It should always go both ways, because, like, that's just how society is now. Like,
yeah, I think if it was that way, it would, like, promote more realistic, like, relationship, like, expectations. Because I know a lot of that is my one issue I say with Valentine's Day. I think it focuses too much on the relationship aspect of it when it should be like just focusing on like loving everyone, like including like yourself, your friends, like your family.
Yeah.
So I will say that's always one issue I've had with it is that the relationship part is like heavily exploited, and then it sets up like unrealistic expectations because when you are in a relationship, it's not always like even, or it always shouldn't depend on one person to be doing everything.
And then another problem I have with Valentine's Day is it's not like special because it seems like everybody gets the same thing. Like you expect a date, flowers, candy. Like there's nothing special about that. Like,
sorry, that's literally what I want.
Everybody gets the same. Everybody gets the same type of affection for Valentine's Day, and it's like it's nothing original. Like if I was to like Valentine's Day, I would want somebody that's willing to go like do something like original. Like I don't know what, but just like don't just take me on a date and get me candy. Just that, no.
Yeah, I guess that ties into why I like it because it's pretty easy in the sense of like planning it. Like all you really have to do, at least to make me happy, is like flowers, a date. Like I was even telling my boyfriend earlier, I was like, all right, I should have told him. I meant to tell him. I was like, I don't care. It could be, you could pick me flowers up off the street. I would probably still like scream over them because like to me that like it shows something. But yeah, it is very cliche. With its like traditions.
And, like, I feel like chocolate and flowers and restaurants are open year-round. So, like, if you really care, just take me out on a date in the middle of August just because, like, don't just do it because you feel like the day is forced upon you and, like, because everybody expects, oh, Valentine's Day is the day of love. Like, if you really love me, show me throughout the year. Don't just push it all on one day and, like,
I understand that. And I'm hoping, like, I feel like nowadays when people are like woke, but like people are like understanding like maybe the things we've been doing like for the past however many years, maybe they're not perfect and could be like adjusted more to like how we live nowadays. So I'm hoping it gets better. I'm hoping it improves with like trying to advertise more about, once again, like self-love and family, and just as like I completely see where you're coming from, and like making it even and not putting it all on like one gender to be having to be the one to perform in this holiday.
And then another article I seen like recently in December, it says that I'm gonna read the exact quote.
Okay.
It says the price of chocolate bars rose to $2.60 in December, which roughly represents a 12% increase from the year before. Like, the prices of things are going up. Like, so if chocolate, like, I wouldn't want you to spend more money on a piece of chocolate just because it's wrapped in pink and red foil.
I find that's very fair. That, I guess it's not a problem I have with Valentine's Day, but I don't really ask for chocolate, I guess.
Yeah.
But I do ask for the flowers and like a date. But I'm not a crazy chocolate hype girl over the Valentine's Day, so I do see that and like is that more than it used to be, like chocolate?
Yeah.
Oh. I guess so. Yeah, I guess like an average bar would be like $1, maybe even a couple cents back. Yeah, that makes sense. That does make sense. Yeah. I guess. Valentine's Day just needs a lot of work. But I still love it. I do still love it. Once again, it's very much a nostalgia aesthetic reason. But
I see the potential in Valentine's Day, but until like the market changes like and pushes for like self-love, like, and just changes the story of other than just like men getting women gifts, like until that changes, I cannot get behind Valentine's Day. Like, I need to see a commercial where it goes both ways. I need to see, like, everybody happy. Like, I need to see a woman taking herself out to get, like, a drink or something. Because, like, if it's a holiday about love, then it should show love in all forms. Like, it shouldn't just be people in relationships. You can love yourself and still take yourself out and take care of yourself.
Yeah.
And, like, that's what I feel like Valentine's is missing. Yeah.
I totally agree. I do agree. Yeah. I actually did, if you want to go read it, I did write an article, even though I'm in a relationship, I did write one about self-love during Valentine's Day and how it's very important because, once again, unfortunately, Valentine's pushes, like, relationships, and it makes, if you are single or, like, something along those lines where your romantic life may not be where you want it to be, you feel kind of, like, alone and, like, I don't know, maybe like you failed or, like, stuff along those lines. But in reality, you should just be using this as a time to, take it upon yourself to go treat yourself, as I would say. But yeah, I do completely understand that side. So you would say to the corporations for Valentine's Day, what do they need to? So they need to fix.
They need to change the marketing strategy. Like, they've always marketed one way, but, like, the world we live in today is, like, so diverse and, like, it's always changing. So, like, update your story with the times. Like, it's not like the 1960s anymore. You shouldn't just expect a man to get a woman a gift. Like, it should be updated as we grow as a society.
Mm-hmm. Especially nowadays with, like, there are, once again, this relates to one of our other podcasts, job hunting. Finding a job right now is kind of difficult, or let me rephrase, let me even more add on to that, finding a good paying job or well-paying job is difficult nowadays. And then you're expected to go get a gift. Once again, I'm an empath. So I do understand that. So I think, to me, Valentine's Day is good. It can be better, though. I can totally see your points and how it could improve and even be a better holiday. All right. Well, yeah. I feel like you brought up some very good points. I'm going to look into some of that stuff myself.
I feel like you added to mine and made me sound like
it's fine. Yeah, a lot of my love, once again, comes from nostalgia. Yeah, and just the aesthetic. I'm a big, like, I don't know. If something I see is, like, makes my brain, like, go bzz, I'm like, ooh, I love it. And Valentine's Day is just one of those things. But yeah, so I think we'll leave off on that. Wasn't too bad. It wasn't too, too opposed. Not as opposing as I thought we were. Yeah. I guess I have an easier job of... I'm a very open-minded person, so I can see all of that. But all right. Thank you all for joining us. Please keep a lookout for any of our future podcasts. Please go read any of our Valentine's Day articles that are on the Line Tour. I believe there's mine titled, I don't know what it's titled, but it has something to do with self-love. And then there...
Maya has one too.
So Maya has... Yes, she does. One of our reporters, ex-editor-in-chief, unfortunately, she's still here. It's not like she's dead. But she wrote a great self-love article as well, or just, focusing on yourself. And then we also have another one from, like, 2021 that was really good and is more kind of on Dasyonne's side of things. But it's really well written. I highly recommend it. So, go in our search bar, type Valentine's Day, and you could find a couple of good reads out there. All right. Thank y'all, and have a good rest of your day, and have a happy Valentine's Day. Yeah. Even if Dasyonne might be wishing you it.
Bye.